Alright, hello everyone. Who is ready for some Bionicle? My name is Derek, and this is LEGO Bionicle, also known as Tales of the Tohunga, also known as Quest for the Toa, depending on when you got the game and what region you are in. The game's got a lot of names, but we're not going to talk about that right now. This game is just absolutely insane. Tons of just rapid-fire shenanigans, so don't blink. And yeah, we're just going to start this off. Are you ready to start the timer?
I am.
All right, we're going to start this off in 3, 2, 1, go. So, first off here is a bit of a tutorial level, so I'll have a little bit of time to just sort of explain the run. This is a 2001 GBA game developed by Sapphire for the LEGO Bionicle toy line, and it is one of those, early isometric games, so it's a little bit of a mess, but it makes for a very, very fun speed run. I want to say right off the bat that every single trick besides maybe one or two that you see in this run has been found by Memory. She made the task for this game. And she found this trick, for example. That's a curve jump. It's normally task only, but you can do it RTA with a pause buffer, and we use it to skip one of those little turtle bits where you have to like jump on a turtle, and it takes more time to do that, so we don't do it. And the second jump there, you can just sort of jump across without it because they didn't think to make that necessary. I'm not going to worry about it too much. So that was the tutorial. I hope you liked it. And coming up here, I'm going to just sort of start explaining the first major trick of this run, which is throw swap glitch. In this game, you can equip two weapons, one on your L button and one on your R button. And if you press L and then R quickly, you will use your L button's ammo to fire your R button's weapon. So, I'm going to set it up so that I have my normal little pea shooter gun on my left, or on my L button, and the most powerful weapon in the game, the explosive fruit, on my R button. I have no ammo in that weapon, but I'm going to have effectively 150 ammo of it because I'm using the pea shooter ammo for it. So all I have to do is just press L and then R quickly, and I have virtually unlimited ammo in the most powerful weapon in the game. This has a few implications, one of which is that I can basically one-shot anything in the game, except for most bosses in the game. They have made immune to that weapon. With an exception to that, the first boss in the game, which is coming up at the beginning of, the end of this room, the first boss is actually not immune to it because they didn't really think to make it immune to it, because you can just sort of, use this weapon before you're even supposed to have ammo for it. They didn't really think that you would ever be using that weapon, so why make the boss immune to it? So this is that boss. It's dead now. Yeah, basically that was the first major area. There is another room here, but it's not nearly as long. So we just picked up the grapple launcher. It is the most broken weapon in the game, and the first thing we're going to do is not use it, and that's because there is a trick in this. There's a trick in this room called Grappleless, and basically this right here is where you're supposed to use the grapple for the first time, but this is a little bit faster and a little bit more consistent. Alright, so basically the rest of this part's pretty normal and pretty boring, so I'm just going to start explaining the next thing because, oh boy, I'm going to need some time to explain it. I'm going to do what's called an extended grapple. Like I said, you can have a weapon on the L button and a weapon on the R button. You can also have the same weapon on both the L button and the R button, and that includes the grapple launcher. If you have the grapple launcher equipped to both L and R at the same time, and you activate it while you're being pulled by the grapple launcher, then some interesting things happen. Also, minigames, you can quit and it counts as winning. Good life lessons from LEGO. Alright, so this is that extended grapple I was talking about here. I'm just going to set up there, and here we go. So this is an extended grapple. That's what happens if you activate the grapple while being pulled by the grapple. That bug was in a bad spot, but we're not going to worry about it. And here we're going to do a similar thing here, except it's going to be a little bit different because, oh, that is unfortunate. I'm going to see if I can reset this room. I bet I can reset this room because I do want to, there we go, awesome. Because I do want to show that off there because it's pretty cool. All right, so like I was saying, this should work. There we go. We got stop on a dime right there, and there we go. And here, basically, you can short hop along the edge of any room in the game, whether it's over water, lava, or a bottomless pit. And we just skipped 2 levels by doing that because we went around the guy that doesn't move out of the way until you've done 2 levels. So this is the desert area of the game, and we're going to abuse a property of the grapple launcher where if you are being pulled by the grapple launcher and you spawn a text box, you lose the ability to bonk on walls. So you just build up speed against it, and that's what we're doing right now. We're building up speed, and we're going to clip. We're going to clip. There we go. And we're just going to zip to the end of the level. Just like that. Here, I'm being a little bit careful with the throw swaps here because if you throw a throw swap like point blank, it is possible to hit yourself with splash damage, and it does a lot of damage. And I don't want that to happen. Because you do have limited health in this game, but if you do, if you do die, it just puts you back at the beginning of the level. Whoops, did I mean to do that? It puts you back at the beginning of the level, and you just retry it. This game was kind of ahead of its time with not having lives. So this is basically the one room in the game that we do as intended. So if there happens to be like any donations or anything, now would be like the time in the run to do that.
I don't see any donations, but I can plug on X Bitboy.
All right, cool.
For Resident Evil, you can choose. For Resident Evil, you can choose who to save. No donations toward that yet. That'll be at the start of our horror block. So I believe that run's coming up in about an hour. Yeah, that's the next thing you can put your donation.
Cool. So one thing I mentioned, you don't want to get hit by splash damage, and something that you'll see me doing sometimes, probably I'll be doing that right here, is intentionally getting hit so that I have invincibility frames when I would be, throwing my little... I'm going to do this to be safe here, and that one. So getting hit there intentionally means I don't take splash damage because I have invincibility frames. It's just a little bit of a thing you can do to be safe in this game. All right, there we go. Coming up here is the bug boss. The bugs are not the boss, but you have to dig under these little dots on the floor here. In this next room, there's going to be like 5 of them, and there are bugs that try to get in the way, so I'm going to kill just enough of them to get under all the dots without getting knocked up out of the ground. These bugs are very difficult to hit because you can only hit them while they are running towards you. You cannot hit them while they are burrowing up out of the ground or into the ground, so there's a very short time window when you're able to hit them. All right, there we go. And here we're going to start up another one of these little zips that I did earlier, except this time, instead of being pulled into an object that spawns a text box, we're going to throw a fruit at it. And apparently that counts as picking up an item. If you throw a fruit at it, it counts. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up the grapple, and away we go. So we are no longer bonking on this wall, we're just building up speed against it, and we're going to clip right through. There we go. And we're going to fight the Scorpion boss. The Scorpion boss is very, very simple. You just got to bait it into attacking one of these little boulders and dig under it. Wow, that enemy spawned in the best position I've ever seen it spawn, so we're going to be like really good on health. There's an enemy up at the very top of the room that always hits me for a ton, and it didn't hit me like at all because it was way too far north to even see me. Again, minigames, you can quit, counts as winning. Because quitting counts as winning. Quick little whoops. What I was saying was quick little extended grapple here. And then, good, this guy got out of the way for us. And once again, this room is really finicky. You can fall through the floor and stuff. Once again, minigame, quitting counts as winning. And in this room, we're going to pick up the ice pick. It is an item that is useful at the very, very end of the game, but we're not going to use it until then. And then again, we have another one of these old things where you can just sort of hop along the edge of the screen and don't worry about it. All of the edges of the screens are standable ground. That skips 2 levels, by the way. All the edges of the screens are standable ground, but they try to keep you from taking advantage of that by making it all bonkable as well. But if you short hop, you don't bonk, so you just sort of hop along it. So basically, every time you see me doing that, besides that time right there, I'm skipping 2 levels because these, people who block the way don't get out of the way until you've done 2 levels. So we've skipped like half the game at this point. So yeah. And coming up here, we're going to skip another 2 levels by abusing the fact that there are some walls that are like set up at the perfect angle that you can, or the perfect distance apart, so you can just do that. We just skip 2 more levels, and we are in the last major area of the game. So this is Takoro, and Takoro is awful, and there are ostriches, and the ostriches will basically kill you. They knock you over and frequently into lava, and I don't like it when that happens, so I'm going to hope that I can stay away from the ostriches whenever possible. It also is the area we're going to pick up the lava board, because heck yeah. So that's coming up here in just a moment. There's the lava board. Also, short hopping on lava, we just skipped 2 more levels by doing this. Alright, so the lava board section here is very finicky and weird, and that's because I don't go in the direction that I'm pressing the button for. So you'll see me going like straight right, and I'm pressing upright or something like that. And it's very, very weird and very, very annoying when you're playing the game. Like here, I'm pressing straight right and went upright there. So you just sort of have to memorize where you're going to go when you press things in certain points, and just sort of pray and trust that the game is going to do what you actually want it to do. There we go. I'm going to sort of hope that there's not an ostrich in a very bad location up here, because that can happen sometimes, and basically... ooh. Okay, this is actually not good. Okay, good. We're good. As long as I don't get knocked into the lava like 3 times by the ostriches, we should be good in this room. Perfect. They were in really good positions there. Alright, so this is the last main room of the run. We have to use the ice pick here and create these little passageways of solidified lava here for the boulders to go over. Boulders are really finicky in this game, and the ice pick mechanics are really finicky in this game too, so it's just like a perfect storm of finicky. So we have to push them onto these switches here. If there's even like a pixel of non-solidified lava, like here, the boulder will probably not go across this. I stand corrected. So, come on, let's try that one more time. See, I don't understand why this happens. But here we're gonna... Hello? Alright, let's try this again. There we go. Oh my gosh. I've never had a boulder that uncooperative before. But we made it. And I'm gonna sort of start explaining the end of this run, because, yeah, we are basically there. There's a minigame at the end of this run, and it's the one minigame in the game that you can't skip. And it is also the worst minigame in the run, or in the game, because, like, it's RNG hell. So, yeah, I'm going to try to skip it by doing a frame perfect trick. I'm going to basically, I'm going to need some time to focus here, because I need to hit a frame perfect trick. So, here we go. I think I may have gotten it. I got it. Okay, if you're not good with flickering sprites, you're going to want to tab out for like the next 30 seconds. So this is escape glitch. That's a frame perfect trick. What you do is you buffer a pause into the minigame room. You're not supposed to be able to pause in the minigame room, but if you buffer a pause in the last frame before going in, you can. And it also makes you able to quit the game from inside the minigame, which you normally can't do. And if you do that, the game has absolutely no idea what to do. And you're sort of half in the minigame and half out of the minigame, and you're invincible for the entire minigame. Get ready on time, by the way. Time! Oh, man. So that is Lego Bionicle for the GBA, also known as Tales of the Tohunga, also known as Quest for the Toa. Thank you, everyone, for coming out to watch this. It is a very, very, very silly game. If you want to find me on Twitter, you can go to twitter.com/DEREKMK. And if you want to find me on Twitch, you can go to bionicle.church. That is bionicle.church. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And definitely get ready for a very fun run of Kirby Star Allies that Lori is doing immediately after this run. It's going to be great. And that's all I got.
Thank you very much, Derek. GG.
Yep.